Hello, we're Neon Trees, and this is our MOG playlist.
It started with the whisper, and that was when I kissed her.
One of the everyday things that I do personally that is made better by music definitely is working out. I think that any type of workout, that's why every workout video has a soundtrack, and almost everybody running you see has headphones in. It's because without music guiding you, it would be really boring, and all you would think about is how much time you are spending doing something you don't necessarily want to be doing.
I think just, oh, go ahead.
I used to work in a tile warehouse by myself, cutting and scoring tiles, and the only thing that kept me sane was music.
It's like good mood music, good mood music, but putting on old James Brown always does that for me.
I just feel it gives us our career. We get to come to Australia because of music, so that's why I like it.
Your life is made better by music generally.
Yeah.
Yes.
I selected Depeche Mode, I Feel You, because they're one of the major influences on my life, and I remember staying up late. I can't remember what grade it was, but I was, probably junior high when Songs of Faith and Devotion came out, and it was back when you had to wait for the world premiere video on TV because there was no YouTube back then. So I remember staying up in my basement and just like kind of falling asleep because it was way past my bedtime and just waiting for that song to come on because I hadn't heard it yet, and the video was going to be exciting. And I remember hearing the and like kind of waking up and being so mesmerized and amazed that this is where they were going because it was more guitar heavy than Violator had been, and I was just so excited to soak it in. So that's why I chose I Feel You by Depeche Mode.
The Empire Weekend Step, I chose this song because this new record of theirs is making me actually become a fan of their band, and I wasn't at all a fan before. Not that they care about that, but I do, and I really like this.
I chose Fugazi's Waiting Room. It's a great tune, but what I love about their band is how important it was to them to have all their shows always be all ages, and that's something that's important to Neon Trees, and just that whole do-it-yourself mentality. And even when they would ship out their records through Discord, their own label, they would show what the price was. The store prepaid this much. Make sure you're not getting ripped off. And they were just so ahead of their time.
I chose Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones because I'm wearing their t-shirt today. And it's one of those songs where you remember, well, I remember where I was the first time I heard it. It was that powerful to me.
Where were you?
I was in my living room watching a TV show. It was a mini-series about the Vietnam War called Tour of Duty.
I chose Led Zeppelin, Good Times, Bad Times, because it's one of those quintessential Led Zeppelin songs that kind of has a bunch of different types of influences. I think the drum work on that song is one of the first songs that when I was 7 years old that I heard where the drumming itself stuck out to me, and not as just like a part of the rhythm of the song, but as its own musical little part, all the little breakdowns and things. So I think that's the first song where I started to appreciate drums as an instrument.
I chose Solange, Losing You. It's the freshest song I've heard in the last year. I think she's done a 180 with her career and her whole vibe, and I'm really intrigued by her.
Foals, I chose their song Inhaler. To me, it's just a great landscape type of record, and they just really pack a punch on that, and so musical and fresh.
I chose All Through the Night by Cyndi Lauper because I love the production on this entire album. It's so tasteful.
The solo is insane.
It is so tasteful, everything on that album. And they showed so much like reserve. There's so much space.
Not with that guitar, not with that keyboard.
Solo,
I was like,
yeah.
but like all the synth bass, the chimey little guitars, but they're like just perfectly placed. It's magic. It is good.
God, man. Michael Jackson, since I was very young, kind of united me and my family in the late 80s, early 90s, and got me into dance classes. My mom noticed that I liked to move to his songs, so I wasn't good at sports, so she put me into dance classes and just got me into being really rhythmic. So that's someone that I've always loved.
I think there's a duo growing up. I listened to a ton of different types of music, but the two main things that became like my favorite band, my two favorite bands were Led Zeppelin on the one hand and then Depeche Mode on the other hand, which are very different from each other. But if you boil it down, they both have really great songwriting styles and really great instrumentation. And so I think I was able to pull from both Depeche Mode as like a pop and harmonies and things like that type of influence, and then from Led Zeppelin more of the rock and the guitars and the drums, and so that kind of married. And I think we have a lot of both of those types of things in Neon Trees, which is great for me.
What world without music would be boring?
Yeah, lifeless.
Useless.
Less colorful.
There you have it. Blazer.
Can't have that.
For our full playlist, head to MOG.com and search Neon Trees. To check out our full playlist, log on to MOG.com and check Neon Trees. Is that?
Search Neon Trees.
Yeah.
And you don't have to log on, you can just visit
You
it.
don't have to log on? No log
Get
on.
the password from your mom and dad.
AOL.
Make sure to ask first.
Log on.
Send in your proof of
Log on.
purchase and get your
Could you
unique
repeat
access
the whole thing one more
code.
time? Just once. To check.
To log in.
Enter your username and 11-digit password,
Social
including
security
an uppercase
number.
and a
For our
number.
full playlist. For our full playlist, head to MOG.com and search Neon Trees. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool.